Hey everybody, welcome to the teachings of Joseph. I should say welcome back. I'm Cindy Edison. We are continuing the overview of Book 1, and this is Segment 2. Hope everybody's doing well out there. We're still in June of 2020. Watching this unfold, it's very exciting. Anyway, I'm going to recap in Segment 1 before we move on to 2, just give you a short recap. It's really not a good idea to move on to segment 2 without having listened to segment 1. But if you did, I'm just going to recap real fast. In segment 1, Joseph gave us their definitions and the context in which they're using terms to lead us down the pathway to not only the creating of the new earth, but the creation of the new human aspect as well. It's a whole new human species we're moving into, or maybe morphing into. I think one day we're going to wake up and that's where we're going to be. I mean, this kind of stuff happens kind of that way. So, but we have to prepare ourselves first, right? So this is simultaneous creation. We can't go to the new earth with any fear, so that means we have to change this aspect. And change, I'm going to say we need to expand this aspect because that's what we're doing here. We're expanding the aspect beyond the realm of fear where choosing fear is available. Joseph represents, as you know, the vibration of the new earth, and there is no fear in that vibration. So as long as we, the human aspect, carry any fear within our vibration, we are not a vibrational match to bring it into the physical. Okay, so in segment 1, they describe our soul as the vibration of the God consciousness who is leading the way into the new vibration where no fear exists. The ego, the aspect of the soul who offers us the perfect balance to the soul's emotional guidance system in the realm of contrast. This is who the ego is. It creates the balance for the soul's vibration in the third dimension. As we know, the soul does not mess around in the fear. Been there, done that. The ego comes with us to assist our navigating of this land, which is vibrational. So the soul provides guidance from the higher realms of vibration, the more expanded realms, I'll say, and the ego assists in our navigation in the third dimensional realm, the realm of contrast, by providing negative emotional guidance when we are choosing out of alignment thoughts. Both aspects assist us by providing emotional indication of our in alignment or out of alignment choosing. Now, that is not to say that the ego foists anything into our vibration. The ego does not want us to fail. The ego is assisting us to stay in alignment by communicating emotionally with us through negative emotion when we, the human aspect, are choosing out of alignment thoughts that, of course, manifest in out of alignment circumstances and situations, none of which we want to experience unless you're addicted to fear, which we'll talk about later on. Anyway, so as we human aspects choose thoughts to focus upon and create from that are out of alignment with the soul's thought vibrations, that momentum we create by continuing to choose thoughts from fear will always result in out of alignment manifestations. And this is not the pathway to the new earth, which is why the ego comes and hangs out with us. The ego is our friend, right? We learned that in segment 1. Those thoughts that keep us within and creating from the vibration of fear is why we are experiencing this chaos right now. The more people that focus on this and that participate in this creating of fear, stirring the pot, as it were, just keeps expanding that realm of fear. So the way to move beyond it is to choose from love, right? And create something else to live. So we're witnessing those creations and manifestations as we speak. as we experience the delineation of these two worlds, one being the creation of the new earth through the consistent choosing of love, and the other in the expansion of fear. Okay, so that kind of wraps up segment one. We talked about the aspects, we talked about the relationship between the aspects of the soul and the ego and the human aspect. And so now we're going to move on and talk about choice and choosing. Big deal here. It's a big deal. I want to read you a short little snippet that they threw in here when they began this chapter on choice. And it says, "All is chosen throughout eternity. This universe is a choosing-based existence where all evolution moves by way of conscious intention, conscious choosing, and therefore conscious manifestation, which is accounted for and always in perfect balance to itself by way of vibration." So the universe we live in, that we're part of, was and is created by choice, all manifesting by way of vibrational agreement. Let's talk about what that means and how it relates to the choices we make. If you'll remember, in segment one, when we were talking about vibrational agreement, those are the events that move us through our human aspect journey and ultimately our soul journey, right? It's the events that move us along the journey. And when we are in alignment with our soul's vibrations, we are on the track of our purpose, right? And everything that is purposed for us in this realm, everything that we intended when we came in, is then placed before us at the right time. The opportunities kind of are thrown on our pathway, and if we don't pay attention, we could like step over them. So, but don't ever worry about that, because there's always another opportunity. You know, when Abraham talks about this, they always say, you can't miss the boat, because this boat, if you miss this boat, there's 100 more behind it. So you can't miss the boat. Everything happens by vibrational agreement, and if you're not ready, you can't miss it. So anyway, this leads us into, we've all heard this, and maybe we have said it ourselves at some point, that I have no choice. I had no other choice. I have no choice. Well, Joseph tells us, and many of us have certainly experienced this, it's what we always have choice, and the choice they speak of is choice of thought, and through our thinking, we create. The common misnomer about this is that it's not the thoughts that are creating, but the thought vibrations. And when you focus on the vibrations, you are creating momentum through the law of attraction, which is attracting, bringing to you other vibrations that match the vibrations that you're thinking and focusing on. Okay, so here's an example of that. And we're going to use the money example. This is a good one because most people are focused on money. And of course, because money is an important element here in our third dimension. But remember, it is simply an element. So let's say your thoughts are around money and you're currently living the results of, the manifestations of, your belief around your not having enough money. Common throughout our world, right? Don't have enough, don't have enough. This is your current perspective. After all, you have the proof, right? Because you're living it. So you have the proof that you don't have enough money. At least that's your perspective, and that's your perception of what you're living. However, Joseph teaches us that those manifestations are not created by lack of money, but by your belief in the lack of money, you see. The vibration of the thought there's not enough money is one of lack. It's one of fear. And it's out of alignment because the money is in alignment. All abundance is in alignment. Everything you can want is in alignment, right? So it doesn't matter what the element is, whether it's money or food or cars or homes or whatever it is, doesn't matter. If you are focused on lack and choosing lack, then it's the vibration of that realm, right? It's the vibration of the realm that creates it. And it creates an out of alignment circumstance and experience. The good news is that all manifestations are up for grabs, meaning anything that you want to manifest is always available. All you need to do is shift your perspective and your manifestations will shift too. You are the chooser. You are the decipherer of your vibration. You are the chooser of your desire, and you are the chooser of how you're going to get there. And when you're in alignment, you get there much quicker. Okay, so, on the other hand, if you understand who you really are and that all desired experiences are yours for the asking, remember, asking it is given, you are creating a momentum that takes you toward that manifestation. I've pictured it like a vibrational train station of sorts, and there are unlimited tracks going everywhere. Let's take a bird's eye view of this as we did the highway system. So each of those tracks is moving in a different direction toward different destinations. You choose the destination and then get on the train that will take you there. Okay, so we're describing here the process of manifestation. Momentum, by way of the tracks in this analogy, moves you toward your desire by way of your choice of vibrational thoughts. As you continue to believe and choose thoughts that are in alignment with your soul, therefore in alignment with who you really are, really important, the expanded you, so to speak, that's your soul, you are on the train to your desired destination. The consistent focus on this particular thought pattern, the vibrational pattern of thought, is what leads you towards your manifestation, right? So the more you focus directly on what you want to experience, and you do this through visualization, and the visualization, everything you use to get into that mode, whatever it is that you use, what you are moving toward is the non-physical experience of it, which is the feeling of it in your body. It is the vibrational feeling that will bring about emotional response. And you're going to get an emotional response from the vibration that you're focused on, right? So when you're thinking about loving thoughts and you're thinking about moving to a loving place or moving to a place that you've always wanted to go to or live in, whatever it is, or drive, or whatever that desire is, you're going for the emotional vibration. That is what the universe is matching, and it's the emotion, which is why the soul's assistance and the ego's assistance is so helpful, because they give us the emotion with which to choose from, with which to experience the vibration we're choosing from the thoughts we're picking, right? So let's talk about this process for a minute, the process of choosing. Let's jump off the train at the riverbank from segment 1, if you remember, and take a break from the train for a second. Let's get off. Okay, so if you remember, I was sitting in front of the river that's carrying all the thought vibrations. Remember, they were white and they were red and they were big balls and they were beautiful. And I was sitting there watching all the thoughts go by, every thought that's ever been thought, all available for our choosing. Every single thought pattern, every single one is in this river. If you remember, the soul was on my right and the ego was on my left. The positions don't matter in this setup. You can put them wherever you want. As you reach for your thoughts, the ego and the soul ask us to consider feeling the thought before choosing to focus on it. So as we do this, if the thought is out of alignment, the red thought in my story, the ego begins to nudge us and nudge me through negative emotion. indicating we're getting ready to board that train that will take us to the destination of fear and will manifest a circumstance or situation that we are not going to be happy with. Unless, of course, you're addicted to fear and stuck in that hurricane of the third dimensional realm, which is a place you don't want to go. None of us want to create the chaos. We create it usually unknowingly, because once we understand how important choosing is and getting in touch with feeling our choices, feeling the vibration of our choices, we can begin to choose other realities and create other realities, because that's what we're doing. If, however, you choose a thought derived from the loving vibration of the soul, remember the white balls, you'll feel the indication of that from your soul. And the soul will say, board that train, get ready to depart, and you are on your way to the desired destination. This is a feeling of excitement and adventure and peace and love and all the good vibrations that are available in that realm of creation from the soul. That's where the new earth is hanging out. That's what the new earth will feel like to us. And so we need to prepare ourselves so we can experience it in its purest form. I mean, that's the only way it can be experienced, which is in its purest form of love. So as you focus and draw more like thoughts to you, you begin to create the momentum, taking your seat and envisioning your experience of the manifestation. And in this case, arriving at your preferred and consciously chosen destination, consciously chosen with forethought. As you focus, the train picks up speed and gains momentum. And when the vibrations match, you arrive at your destination, fully rested and ready to take the next step, which, by the way, is presented to you on the proverbial silver platter, because that's how it comes. When you are in alignment and the timing is right, they serve it up. They serve it up because it's on your path. It's on your purposed path in alignment. So isn't that just a fun analogy? I love the train analogy, but this is the process of choosing and how we create the physical reality that we live. Let's touch on reality just for a minute. I've heard many times, as I assume most of you have too, Cindy, come back to reality. You're not living in reality. You're living somewhere up in the clouds, and that's not reality. And I always respond to that. Well, which reality would you like me to come back to? What do you want me to experience so you can be happy? Yours? So, and that's impossible because we cannot, even if we wanted to, we cannot experience somebody else's vibrational reality, because our vibrations, remember, are as unique as our fingerprints. Therefore, all realities are experienced differently. Look at it this way for a minute. The reality of the third dimensional earth plane holds within it unlimited experiences of it that are created in fear. Meaning a person living in a penthouse, for instance, above an ocean, and a person living in what we would call an impoverished third world country maybe, they're experiencing the earth plane, but in different realities, very different realities. They're both living in the vibration of the contrast, but experiencing it very differently. We've got two umbrellas going here, remember? We've got an umbrella of fear and an umbrella of love, and underneath each umbrella are unlimited manifestations, and we choose those manifestations by way of our thoughts. So the alignment, when we talk about experiencing this contrast differently, that's not to say that the person who is what we call impoverished is not experiencing joy. Joy and the experience of joy has nothing to do with outside experiences. And that's a tough thing for the current human aspect to fathom. Because we attach joy and happiness to outside things, generally speaking, okay? We attach them. If I had this, I would be. If I had that, it would be better. If. When in fact, the opposite is true, that when you are in joy and in alignment, all of those things you think are going to bring you joy and alignment are within you. They're all inside. So we need to stop looking outside and choosing from the outside, but choosing from within. We all choose our path from the space of love, prior to our incarnation into the world of contrast. We choose it collectively with our soul and our egos. And we say, we're going to go, we want to experience the contrast, let's go and have a ball, you know? And so we choose the path which is based in love. But of course, when we focus on alignment while we're here, having the physical experience and being led by our soul's guidance, we're putting ourselves in the space of receiving the opportunities to move smoothly down that path toward our desired manifestation, which from the soul's perspective is the expansion of the love vibration itself, the expansion of the soul, which is God, the God consciousness. This is always the soul's overall purpose. So the path is chosen. Remember, the path is chosen, and the path is then supplied with all the stuff to get us there. That's why when we're in alignment, that stuff becomes opportunity to move forward. However, throughout our journey in the earth plane, the contrasting vibrations play a really big role for us, right? The influences that come into our awareness, the influences of our parents, our siblings, our church elders, perhaps, authority figures, those who we choose to commune with that seem to have and take some influence over us because we allow it. Now, granted, when we're young, it's a different story. And but those experiences and those influences are what assists us in the offering, what assists in the offering of choice. So that creates the contrast, other people's influence, other people's examples, other people's, you need to do it my way. And we see how that feels. How does that thought feel when someone says that to you? You need to do it my way because my way is right. You know, when anybody says that to me, it doesn't really matter what it is. They could be absolutely right. But my first gut reaction is, don't tell me what to do. And I'm sure most of us are like that. And that's a great way to be because it gives us the opportunity to consider what we're hearing and whether we want to accept that or not. When we're young, most of the influence, generally speaking, comes from those who example their beliefs and their way of living, our parents. When we're young, we watch our parents and we watch how they are married to each other. We watch how they treat each other. We watch how they treat our siblings. And of course, we watch and example how they treat us to others. We copy what we see, believing at a young age that all are in alignment as we are. We come in alignment. The babies, they're in alignment when they get here. And then it's influenced out of them because we were taught what they were taught, and they were taught what they were taught, and they were taught, and it goes back. So this incarnation, we are moving beyond all of that and back into who we really are. So that's going to pretty much wrap up this segment. I do want to read their parting words to us, which is, they talk about creating the new physical experience and how vibration is our way to do that. We are creating now. And then, as we move into the new human aspect and move into the new earth vibration, everything is vibrational. Communication is vibrational. Our bodies will be more seen vibrationally. We will have lighter bodies. Everything is going to change about us, and it's all going to be recognized and acknowledged vibrationally by way of vibration. So the last part they have here is the continuing story of you. As we close out this first body of work, our introduction as it were, we have begun a new journey with you. It is a journey, if you choose to continue with us, that will help to open your mind and, more importantly, your heart to who you really are, which is the sovereign being of light, love, and wisdom. You hold within you all the secrets of the universe, and the way to revelation is through your opening up to the awareness of them. As you expand your awareness, which is the increasing of your vibration, or as we say, the expanding of your vibration, you offer yourself more opportunities for growth and expansion and knowing that is available through the likes of your soul. These subjects are vast, and as you expand, there is more expansion available. This expansion is eternal and is your natural growth pattern and is what makes you an aspect of God who is ever evolving, ever expanding, and ever loving. As we move forward with this ever evolving information through further works, we offer a simple yet profound understanding of who you really are. It is the key to the door that opens it all to you one step at a time. It is the stairway to your heaven on earth. Oh, I just got goosebumps. We are, in a sense, taking you back to your origins and taking you back physically to the future of you as a human aspect of your soul. As the love vibration increases in every moment, your soul increases along with it through the human aspect's alignment, expansion, and experience of itself as the soul. We leave you now with our last thought of this day, this eternal day in this moment in time. You are loved beyond what the human mind can comprehend. This too is universal truth. Well, there you have it. And that's going to wrap up segment 2. There's nothing to say after you read that, I just have goosebumps all over the place. I just love these guys. So we're going to wrap it up with segment 2 of book 1 of the Allow Your Soul to Lead series. In segment 3, we're going to discuss the 7 quotes. It'll be our wrap up of this book. The 7 quotes that I put in every book that deal with the content of the book. So they're all in sync with the topic. So these are going to be about the aspects of the soul, the ego, and us, the human aspect. These quotes are so adored all over the world, and they will always be near and dear to my heart. I wake up every morning and chat with them, and I have to say 9 times out of 10 conversations that I have, I'm pulling quotes out. They're just awesome. We're going to put them on t-shirts soon, I think. I've already designed them, and they're just really cool. Anyway, until then, check out our website at theteachingsofjoseph.com. Follow us on Instagram at The Teachings of Joseph. That's where I post the quotes 3 or 4 times a day, and they also appear, they go right to our website for your contemplating pleasure. This was really fun, guys. Thanks a lot for listening. Segment 3 is up next. Take good care.